Hello, I was asked, is it possible to earn money while working at Outlier? Well, yes, it is. So here are some of the contributor pay basics. I earned about 5,000, over 5,000 Canadian dollars in the past year, working on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis. So sometimes a few times a week, sometimes every other week. Um, just for a few hours. So it's pretty good. I received between 15 to 40 USD an hour. I was offered up to 100 USD, but I wasn't in line with the project, so I decided to tell them that I don't want to continue with that one. However, very exciting. I was excited about that. So the pay per hour, well, the pay per hour. So you log in, you do a task, and then it clocks in for you. Sometimes you log in and you have to also log into your clock for yourself, and that will keep changing. So every project is not the same. Remember, there's so many projects, so many clients, so you have to just keep paying attention and do your own work. This next thing is there's also a pay per task where you simply finish a task, and when it's done, you get paid for it. It goes to your pay, and then you get your pay once a week. Okay, so the different kinds of ways to think about the project. So things will change over time. So just kind of think about it, and then you can get on with your own way of doing this. Because just watch what happens in your own online platform. So first, you have to qualify with the project. Okay, so you have you see a project in the dashboard. It says, please, achieve these tasks first to prove you can do this project. And then you might have different kinds of evaluation, which will result in you having a project, and that might change over time as well because they keep adapting as well. So rather than telling you about it, this is kind of like a moment in time where I'll do this for now, but essentially, if you see this later, just use it for a gist. Adapt with the environment. That's a really big deal at Outlier, and I say that not as one of them, but as someone who found that the best people, the people who really thrive there, are the ones who solve their own problems. They solve their own puzzle, and then they don't need other people. So the less you need other people, the more you win. But there's more than enough. Like, you can get help and support. You can, you talk in the forum with other outliers. But essentially, you got to solve your own problem and don't need people that much. So project onboarding. So if you qualify for the project, you try to onboard, you do an assessment task, you get paid less than the full amount. That might change from time to time. Not all things are the same. Tasking, you start to task and then you get paid for your task. You get paid by the hour, you get paid because you achieve the task. So even if you get paid by the hour, you usually will have to finish all the tasks. It's really rare that they won't need that. But you know what? Again, adapt with them. Pay attention to what's going on, and things can change. So it won't be more complicated than that. Exceeded time rate. Yeah, if you go over a time, you have to take the reduction of pay that goes with that because they're paying you for your work, but you didn't finish the task, so now you get paid at a lesser rate. There's more than enough time. Usually there have been issues in the past, but you got to keep logging that in to help. You got to find support. Other than that, it's fine. Like, you got to be like, take the hours you get and keep working. The more you work, the better it gets. I think that overall the platform is very good. There have been issues from time to time, and they work them out really quickly. But I don't think that you should ever worry about that. I think you should think about it. If it's too hard for you, focus on a part-time basis. But if you're okay, then charge up to full-time, full-time per hour kind of rate. So, kind of pace. So, you got to just adapt with it, make sure you're okay, and keep working. Okay, so there's different payment options, but you can look at that later because you got to decide where you are. If you're in the U.S. or outside of the USA. And then, I use PayPal. Other people use other ways of doing that. So, you gotta do it for yourself based on your profile. You gotta find out what you can do for you. Okay, so good luck. Take care and enjoy your applications.